Good morning, beautiful. I hope that this finds you well rested, ready to begin your day. This is your daily tarot and oracle, your daily insight on life and love for July 5th, 2022, also being timeless. So wherever you're catching a time, this might have some relevancy or at least entertainment. These are general, collective, never force these to fit your life. If they do make sense, I hope that it's a good message for you. And if you have questions about booking any private readings of any kind or any of my other services, go ahead to the description or the beginning or the end of the video. It'll have all the ways of contact. I'm not going to reach out to you. Understand that the ones that reach out to you with Grand Rising or your ancestors, this, that, and the other thing, those are scams. Don't get involved with it. And honestly, don't give out your private information. No. All right, so let's kick this off. We have a lot of major arcana here. I'm looking at, again, just a few cards this time around. Let me put them in the actual order. Here we go. This is what we are looking at. I'm gonna really take the time to go through this because this, it seems like somebody is seeing the consequence of their actions. This could be you, this could be somebody that you're dealing with, but a lot of cause and effect has been brought forth. So what I'm seeing this is next to is the Death card, then Temperance. The Magician is in reverse. So I'm gonna put the rest of the cards aside for a moment. I wanna focus on these four right here. The Justice, let's look at this bad boy right here. This is somebody who is high and mighty on their throne. They have that sword, they're gonna cut through all the BS. They're going to find the balance, they're going to find the justice. They're finding some sort of a karmic debt payoff, balance, everything being restored. So let's look at what's going on here. The scales are balanced, awesome. This person is stoic, looking forward. And let's see. This is somebody who's more relaxed in their sitting, isn't it? Aren't they? Because with like the King and Queen of Swords, you see them just kind of very straight back and very determined, looking forward. This is somebody who's looking forward, but who's a lot more relaxed and casual about it. So I'm getting a major sense of relief based off of cause and effect and actions to consequence coming into your life. So maybe if this is you, then you're experiencing some form of karma balancing that's going on in your life. And if this is somebody that you're dealing with, understand that they are going to realize the consequence of their actions. This isn't by any sort of emotion on your part. It's something that's being brought to the surface. But honestly, I feel like this might be you. I feel like this might be you having to cut through all of the confusion, all of the funk, and not wear your heart on your sleeve so much. I think that you're a beautiful, sensitive person. But also this is talking about how you can be that wonderful, sensitive, and heartfelt person, but also not give that bleeding heart away to everybody. So I see that there's a lot of cords that you have had to cut through in this whole ordeal. So those cords, yes, they're connecting to others. We have the Death card here, the Death, the Ascension, blah, 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 new beginnings, all that jazz. Let's look. We have, I never really noticed that before. Interesting. Okay, so if we look in the back, there's a teeny tiny bit of water, and then there's a raft with just this sheet of a mass. Yeah, raise the mass? Yeah, it's the mass. Okay. And what I'm seeing in this, since it's something that is so bare and basic, it really feels like this stripped you of a lot. It stripped you, like it mentally and emotionally stripped you to where it was just having the very basic needs. And then we have an arrow that's drawn into the land behind it, pointing backwards. So this, it's making the motion that you're moving forward. And I do feel like you are moving forward, slowly and surely, and just by the skin of your teeth. Why is that an expression? Why is that an expression? I'm gonna have to look this up after because I know it's going to be stupid. Okay. So the waters don't look so rocky moving forward, which really to me is telling me that you can kind of assure yourself that while you're in survival mode, you're not going to be hitting these rocky waters. You don't have to worry about your world crashing down again through this transition of your awakening. So this is somebody whose armor is blackened. Blackened is dealing with mysticism, it's dealing with slowing down. It's kind of like the winter aspect of movement. There's not a lot of movement with what this person is wearing as their armor. So there's a sense of stiffness that's coming about here. And I feel like that stiffness is the reaction to the toxic people, energies, what environment around you. I think that you're still somehow in that toxic state, whether it's a physical state, emotional, or mental state, or an actual state, wherever you are in the world, province, whatever. But there's a certain rigidness about you that while you're moving on to calmer waters, there is a point of having to acknowledge what has had to die inside of you so that you can move forward. We have the pillars in the background where the sun is shining, and I think that that's on the moon card as well. Is it on the moon card? I think that it's on the moon card. Yeah, it is. It's on the moon card. So, I get a notification while I'm talking to you. This is talking about how there's already been a rite of passage that you seem to have moved on from. This entire thing is surrounded in blue, talking about speaking up, speaking, being in your truth, healing, using that throat muscle of yours. It is amazing. There's a lot of power in you being able to move forward. There's a lot of horsepower. And so I see that your sight, it's on security, it's on safety, and it's some self-contained anger, rage even for some of you. Ooh, as I drop the card, okay. We also have an instrument here on the ground. It feels like an instrument, and this little kid is playing it. So I feel like there's a new innocent beat that is being played and picked up. Everything keeps talking about the sun that's on the horizon. We have the sun, and it's, you know, the happiest card of the deck. You left behind some rite of passage where the sun was shining on your back, and you feel like you had to face away from it in order to go through your ascension, your dark night of the soul, the trials and tribulations of your time, and moving back into a journey where the sun is in front of you again. You're not going backwards, but you can best believe that the sun has moved in the sky and that it's gotten in line with where you are going. I see the fulfillment that's coming in. I see the epic highs and lows of the journey ahead of you. The temperance is all about taking their time. This is also very soul-bound energies that are coming into play with you. But I also see that there's a karmic lesson that is to be known with this. So soulmates show up in many shapes and forms, even animals and people and situations can come about to teach us some very intricate soul lessons. And these are some really close energies to us that we have made this karmic agreement or this soul contract with, and this is what's coming into play. But I also want you to know that this can show up in numerous ways. For instance, you may be moving on, but you also have to have a test of if you're using all of your lessons learned, all of your tools, if you're using your full potential in this. This is going to be something that you're confronted with, which means that you are going to have likely scenarios come in from people, from your environment, that is going to test that growth. So there might be people or situations that are coming in that are going to be testing your boundaries, that are testing your faith, that actually might feel very repressive for you. And it's up to you. Are you going to use your throat chakra? Are you going to use all of the lessons that you have round up in this last dark night of the soul for you? You know, it's part of your ascension. You've acquired all these tools, you met all the checkpoints, you've gotten to this new checkpoint where you can start to take off again. But now the road in front of you is going to be even more intricate, and you have to use these newly acquired tools to start to not only conquer, but have full-on success in this new chapter. And again, this is going to involve epic highs and lows. And I think that this is Archangel Gabriel. I'm going to have to look it up. Oh, why can't I remember this right now? I know that I know this. I'm going to have to look this up after. I don't want to pause this. I'm going to have to pause it. I was right. It was Archangel Gabriel. You want to know why? Because flippin' awesome. Love Gabriel. Okay, you. So we have the Magician. Archangel Gabriel is guiding this. This is going to be emotional fulfillment. This is feeling like very watery energy in here, very fertile land. There's a lot that you can do with this, and you're going to have a ton of challenges. Oh, sorry. Okay, so I think that there's a lot of things that you have brushed off as far as what your experience has been in this last chapter. Maybe you are dumbing it down, marginalizing it. Maybe you are making yourself not be all that you know that you are, and that is, well, that is kind of a smack in the face to what it is that you experienced. All of these are major arcanas, and the Magician is just on their head. So I want to kind of look at the repressive energies that are coming about that might be, well, that will be challenging your growth in this. So we have the Knight of Cups in reverse, and then we have the King of Cups in reverse. I'm going to talk about these for a second. It's a lot of masculine energy, and they're both in reverse. So this is manipulative actions. This is something that is unstable. The energies that are coming about this, it's something that kind of needs to have an eye kept on it. We have an offer that's being made to you, or pressure, or some sort of door that has been opened to you that you can choose to walk through, and I don't see you walking through it. You are being met with what seems to be something that seems like an enticing message for you, or an enticing opportunity, or something that it's really a wolf in sheep's clothing. It's not what it seems. It is an empty promise, and it's highly manipulative. This is somebody who uses emotional intimidation, and this is somebody who is casting blame on you because their ships aren't coming in. And I'm getting a very strong masculine energy. It doesn't have to be a male, it could be anything. It's just action oriented. It's somebody who's abusing some sense of authority. This is what you're going to be confronted with. And I see you ultimately full blown rejecting it. And you're not going to take that intimidation that's coming in towards you. This is somebody who has made their bed and has to lay in it. They're not really able to keep their head above water, and I see that they are looking towards other people to smooth out the waters for them and take away the intensity, and to just kind of give them the opportunity, and that's not going to happen. It is so awesome when things kind of line up and opportunities arise and you just go right through it, and it seems like it would be super cool if it were like this right now, but that's really not how this is going to play out. Somebody's twisted sense of the truth and the it feels like a morphing of a reality. This is not going to be something that is catalyzed to be your fault or your job to deal with. I do see somebody toxic that you will have to sever this tie with through the card of justice. And it will be that, I think it will be the test. So after this test comes to pass and you don't engage in somebody's output that's challenging what seems to be your very existence or your very sense of growth, your exact sense of growth, then you have the Ten of Swords completely in reverse. Now, what I love about the Ten of Swords in reverse, you are done. You are done. This is already talking about ascension, new chapters, and the test that has come to pass. After that, it's almost like waking up from a bad dream. It's not real. I mean, it's what has occurred just doesn't even seem to be a real or some sort of viable scenario anymore. This is somebody who has left and to just writhe in pain until there is no breath left in their body. And I see that you have felt very either alone or isolated in this. And the 10 is talking about this test that you're being given right now as being the last straw of it. It's in a desert, and I'm not seeing the water behind. Even though it's blue, it looks like an empty field. So I see the mountains in back. Just because it's not the emotion and it's not water doesn't mean that it's not true for you, and it doesn't mean that it's not something that you can't get to the other side of. Whatever it was that you were protecting yourself with, whether it be anger, whether it be passion, whether it be a sense of security, that security was most definitely rocked, and you had to find a new way to live outside of that security. You have got to get these swords out of your back and start to make your way across a place that's gonna cause you to have to learn to adapt. After this test, you're going to have to learn to adapt to various situations and circumstances. And I see that as being met with the Hermit card. The Hermit card is the fool who's at the peak point of the mountain, the person who's gone through the trials and tribulations, and now it's an easier road in front of them. This is somebody who has faced all of their battles and now is on top of the mountain. That very wand that was holding their supplies is now their guiding, well, it's their walking stick. It is going to be their aid. This is somebody who has learned to slow down with life, learning that it's not some sort of a rat race, that you're not hurrying up to just get to the end. Their guiding light is their own awakening, their own light, their Merkaba awakening. This is somebody who looks at the ground in front of them and doesn't get lost in some sort of, not even just vision, but doesn't get lost with their head in the clouds. When you have your head in the clouds, you're high on, this existence, but it's also this sense of not being able to see what's truly around you and being in a state of confusion, because it seems like that illusion can overtake the reality. And this person who's wise, who's been through the weather, it feels like there's no more clouds around them, and they're standing on this beautifully white-capped mountain. So yes, life has slowed down. Life has somehow seemed to have got, even through movement, froze in time. And white is the color of purity, of divine protection. So while things have slowed down in your life, it doesn't mean that it's going to be just you and you alone that's walking through this. Archangel Gabriel seems to come at your side right now in this. And Gabriel is dealing with the masculine and the feminine aspect. Right now, you're learning to conquer and utilize the masculine force inside of you. And I see this as being completely riddled by masculine energy. This is about how you move slowly into the future, how you have cautious confidence, how you have this sense of just connection to the environment around you, how you utilize every single tool that has been gifted to you through experience. And I also see that out of nowhere, you have a new opportunity that's coming in that's going to be a chance for you to really build something solid, something abundant, something that's amazing, that's grounded, that's very earthbound energy. I think that there's an element of spirituality to this, of course, but the earthbound energy is just really about grounding, solid, foundational, and the resources that are around you in this. It feels really good. It feels methodical. It feels like it's slow, and it also feels like there is a new entrance that you're going to need to walk through. You have to kind of choose the yes of the adventure on this, because look, right now you're in a garden. You are in a garden. This is a place where life has come to blossom. And you're not just leaving the garden, you're deciding to go on another journey. You are deciding to almost be the fool in a positive sense yet again. Somebody who is ready to take on the adventure of a new chapter and not be naive about it. The thing is, with this, you don't get to go back in time. You don't get to not know things. You don't get to not see the road for what it is in front of you. You get to take this very innocent sense of curiosity, but with the wisdom of all of your experience. That seems to be the guiding force. And I kind of want to see where this is going to take you. We have the Tower card, which is going to cause a lot of things to shift into gear very fast. So while you're walking through life slow and methodically, life is going to be happening fast around you. It's not a point of you catching up. It's a point of you in changing directions and having that be your victory, your success, having that be where you kind of gain your sense of not entitlement, but titles. Like what is going to be the newfound form of what you are, what your name is, and what you stand for. And I think that this is not even just about connections, like emotional connections with people around you, whether it's romantic or platonic. And I don't feel like this is about romance. I do feel like this is about how you connect with the others around you as you're moving into this new ascension and adventure in your life. It feels also like a sense of dominance in it and a sense of control. You are going to have an entire empire that you are constructing, but you have to choose the adventure on how you get there, and not be afraid to utilize all of the tools that have come to pass, the wisdom that has come to pass. No matter which direction you choose, there is this vow of happiness, and it's ever so slightly different than the other, but you have to choose a path. Staying in the middle is going to ensure that you crash and then you get dragged to one of the destinations. So it's about you continuously being proactive in your path. And one more card from this spirit. So victory, success, harmony of the masculine and feminine, being able to show your heart, show your sense of security with it, and being the person who blazes the trail for others to follow suit, leading your life with passion, with victory, with vigilance, and being humble yet confident with it. Having this air of truth and honesty around you and healing around you, and knowing that you are somebody who is completely made of power. I really love this reading. And if you have questions about booking a private reading, either based off of this or anything else, go ahead to the description, find the email address, and reach out. Also, you can find me on the social platforms. Everything is going to be at the beginning and the end of this, so definitely reach out. I promise you, if I reach out to you, it is a spam account. Mess with them and then send me screenshots of you messing with them, and then have a beautiful day. I hope that this finds you well. I see that you want to get back to life and that you are missing and yearning what seems to be the fun times of life. It's about celebrations, missing out on joining in on the party. It's feeling confident where you are. It's feeling the growth of where you are. And it's also feeling this sense of mature charm that you have been growing with, but also you're missing the good old days. You're missing your people. You're missing this sense of gathering. So my advice to you with this is let your hair down. Let your hair down. Have some people come over. Have a party for yourself. Start celebrating all of your accomplishments in life. You have no idea how far you've truly come until you sit there and look back and truly observe what has changed over the years. You have this cat in front of you, and this cat is not only about independence. This is somebody who is a hunter, who is self-assured and self-aware of what they are capable of. So how does this all even factor in? You have this stick and it's going with the right hand. So you're really confident about how you move forward in the world, how independent you are, and how incredibly intuitive and playful and optimistic you are. I want you to bring back this playful sense of what seems to be gathering in your day. I want you to open yourself up more to having a sense of connection with others. This may be reconnecting with old friends for you. And this also may be starting to see the success of all of your hard work. So I see that you're actually probably planning a party in the very near future, and I see some reconciling of friendships coming in, and I see that this general nostalgic that you're trying to bring back into play. All right, you're on the hunt, and you start calling in your people. There is a sense of community that is needed right now. I don't see you shutting down and needing to go inward with this. I think that you have gone in the cocoon already. It's time to really let yourself out, be released, and show just what you have changed into. This is really something to be celebrated, and I don't want you to be in hiding with it anymore. Your people who are coming through for you, everybody's going to be in celebration, not of just yourself, but of each other. I do feel like you guys genuinely miss each other, and it's now time to come back together in some sense. Make the connection with them. Again, we're looking at these old soul bound connections based on what seems to be a very loving friendship. Let me know how this goes. It feels like you're going to be starting to make some plans soon. We have a whole new start that is coming in that is very action-packed, action-oriented, passionate pursuits. It seems to be coming out of nowhere. The hand around it is incredibly enlightened, and it seems to be hovering over the land. So this is absolutely bigger than anything that you have taken on before, but it's also an extreme place of learning for you. And I know that there's a certain plan that is coming into play for your life. I don't think that you are even aware of what this plan is. It's going to be different than what you have tried to do before. This is definitely in line with where fate and destiny starts to have these little checkpoints with you. This is what I'm looking at. A lot of very loving and insightful and just very heartfelt bits of information that are coming through for you. And I think that this is all part of the learning process. It's a very solid, building solid foundation. So I really think that you're stepping into something that has not only the right construction for, I think, what you are trying to build. This is a very figurative thing. And I think there's also somebody that you need to actually listen to in this. They're going to show you what goes where. And what I'm seeing in here is this is so incredibly empty. It's up for you to fill this. It's up for you to not only fill the void, but also with where you are taking this and where you're going with it. You have to decide what this place is really going to be made out of, filled up with. And I see that there's a lot of things about yourself that you have hidden, that you see as sacred, that not everybody should be able to see. And while that's true, who's around you is going to be exposed to it. So I want you to be very careful about any energy that seems to be draining of you, and also some that tends to erupt this major sense of anxiety in you. You need to really work on placing a firm sense of security wherever it is that you stand, and also not let anything block the little bits of information that you're getting, whether it's intuitive hits or something that is directly right in front of you. So this can be messy for you at times, but it's because it's a learning ground, and your passion is only going to grow with it the more that you take the time and really learn it. There is a state of things slowing down for you as you're really absorbing this, but I also see that this is going to have some sense of confusion with it, which I think is only because it's so out of nowhere. The way that this is constructed is not the way that this would have made sense to you in the past. And since this is so bigger than you, you're going to have to really learn to think outside the box. But whatever the case is, this is going to be an amazing start for you, and I hope that this made sense. Somebody seems to be bringing out the very authentic part of yourself that I don't think that you would want everybody to see, but it's also showing up as the shadow work of yourself. This is the Twin Flame card. Get rid of the title. Honestly, this is a very deep soul contract that is coming into play. I don't think that it's necessarily romantic. I just want you to know that there is somebody in your life, either online or in the physical, who has brought out some very real shadow work of yourself. And I see that you don't quite know how to handle it and how to deal with it. And I don't think that this is something that this soul contract necessarily has the remedy for. I see that you need to find another source of help for this. So it says, have you asked your angels for help with this? So this is about divine intervention needing to be given to you. And you actually have to vocalize that intention, because even though there's free will, divine will, all that jazz, and spirit already knows what's on your mind, for some reason, they are sticklers for making you actually speak it. Or if you don't have a voice, sign it. Or if you don't have hands, somehow, however you communicate. However you are communicating in the world is how you need to actually give spirit the thumbs up on how to do this. So what I'm seeing in this is, first off, this is a very real part of you, whether it's shadow work or it's this new unfolding tune of yours. I also see your psychic senses are actually awakening through this, and you need help from your angels and from your spirit team to actually be able to decipher what is real with these. So the music and movement, you're very real, intuitive, and this was catalyzed by some sort of traumatic event in your life, which is hugely unfortunate. I'm sorry for whatever you went through, but you have to heal the shadow work so that you can fully embrace what your gift, talent, and tool is, because it's going to really help your place in the world with this. So it's something that is very deeply spiritual. I feel like this soul contract rocked you to your very core and shattered the essence of what you thought your foundation was, so that this aspect of you could actually break through. So there was an absolute tribulation that you had to go through. And I think that you're starting to feel probably pretty normal again from what it was. But now here comes all these little really weird intuitive hits, or even psychic insights that might make you feel crazy. You're going to need help deciphering it. And I want you to not only ask your angels for help, I want you to look for mentors either locally or through the internet. Use your resources. But yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Let me know how this goes. Can't afford the crazy toxicity right now. You at this new beginning is absolutely new and fragile. You need to keep it simple and keep it playful and keep it grounded. You don't get the luxury of having to have a roll in the mud with every stupid energy that's coming about. You need to protect your energy at all costs. I want you to be lighthearted. I want you to nurture your body in the way that it needs. I want you to stop restricting yourself in such an unhealthy manner. I want you to go let yourself play like a little kid. That is really going to bring the best out of you right now. You need to start listening to the music that you want to listen to, the food that you want to eat, and just being around the people who really make you feel like you can come back to life. I want you to go out and get in nature. Now, with that being said, If you have certain dietary restrictions medically, I'm not telling you to do anything crazy like that. I'm not telling you to stop any necessary medications. I'm not telling you to go into an abusive situation at all. What I'm seeing in here is you need to make your environment a lot easier on yourself, because any sort of toxic influence right now is going to be hitting you harder than it normally would have. I know that you probably have an amazing guard over yourself, but this is not the time to have to always reinforce these things. The sense of serenity, I want you to play things that are gentle to your ear. I want you to be gentle with your body. I want you to be gentle with sleep. I want you to, in some sense, treat yourself as a newborn baby. Make sure that you are being very well taken care of and that you're getting a lot of rest right now. You have a lot to recover off of this closed chapter in your life. So with that being said, keep it easy. Keep it easy on yourself and don't overdo anything right now. Hope this means not a time for a crowd. It's not a time for people to be overly assertive in your life. This is your time to collect yourself and to really assert some sort of time restrained boundaries. So you're going to need a lot of quiet time. You're going to need a lot of grounding outdoors. You're going to need a lot of flushing that's going out of the body. So I want you to really work on a sense of detox. Again, I'm not telling you to do anything legal or stop any sort of medications. I want you to stop putting toxic things into your body right now that are making you feel like you are, I don't know, this is definitely dealing with addictive behaviors. So you need to get refreshments and get oxygen into your body. I'm having a hard time with words. And notice the signs of the signs of which you kind of really need peace. So it's time to release and to purge all of this overwhelming, toxic, and invasive energy with you. Assert yourself, push it back, and what else are the signs telling you? Notice the signs and assertive. So this can be healed very gently. There's also a need of strength and truthfulness inside this. So let people know where your new line is, because even if this person is used to how you were before, with what you are doing right now, they're not going to know that you are being drained. You need to take care of yourself, and you also need to get in tune with the world around you. Get into the earth energy and hear the nature buzz around you. So, all right, cleanse your soul. It's a time of cleansing for you. And let's see. Spend time physically near water if you can. Allow the power and beauty to wash away all your cares and concerns. You've been completely overridden with a lot of concerns, and being that stuck on it is only going to reinforce why you should be stuck on it. It's time to start changing that script. I do hope this made sense, and I'll talk to you soon. It's time to surrender. Surrender to this new path, this new journey, this new venture. You're going to have to find a new sense of happiness in your life. It's not about how hard you can grind, how many people you can impress, how you can stick to some sort of karma to another person you feel has done you wrong. This new chapter is called Getting What You Actually Want and finding out what you actually want. So this is going to involve you not having to work so flippin' hard. So normally the Five of Swords is all about victory. This is absolutely without question change and going into a new chapter that's going to be a lot more abundant, because look at the numbers. 5, 10, 8. You have to come to terms with the fact that sometimes you're not going to see the karma play out in another person's life. You're not going to see the victory, and sticking around waiting for it to happen is only going to take more of your time away from your life that you really need to be living right now. There's so much joy for you to be had in the world. You have all the cups in front of you. You have all the chakras in alignment coming into play. You have everything that you need around you, that you can build whatever you want. And this life does not have to be so hard. And I know that you've been dealing with nothing but struggle, nothing but misunderstanding, nothing but people who seem to have no problem taking advantage of you. those days, without question, are done. And I do see that you will be able to work on yourself, but you also have to see yourself as the beautifully and perfectly flawed human being that you are. And sometimes your flaws are your biggest assets that can really help you construct this life in a way that is beautifully unique, just as you. So let these people go. Take the loss as a win and move in another direction. There are so many more things that are coming your way that are going to bring out this essence of just pure bliss in you. So it doesn't have to be a struggle. It doesn't have to be a fight. It does have to be a sense of release. And I want you to be able to do that. Yeah. Any other card? You have the strength to get through this. You are stronger than you know, which I think speaks to how you're going to have to walk away from seeing karma attempt to play out. If you cut your losses from what it was and move into this new happiness for yourself, then the abundance will be coming from a new platform on you. Yeah, whole new bound of confidence and passion, and very pure yet sensual life. I love it. I love it.